I'm going to ask you to consider looking at ego as a cage. You're trapped in the beliefs and actions based on misinformation, misunderstandings, and ignorance. That's how ego and ignorance tie together. They walk hand in hand. Okay? Ego means we're trapped in me, I. Okay? The ego tries to create win-lose outcomes. I win, you lose. Okay? That's what ego does. It wants to be right. The most important thing here is that we all have a soul, but when we live life from the perspective of an ego, it shrouds or covers or hides our soul. And our soul is that source of divine, read that, wisdom and guidance. The source of divine wisdom and guidance. We talk about intuition being the voice of the soul. And our soul is that spark of divinity in all of us. So intuition is, when it's fully developed, represents the voice of God being in our life. Now, when you live life from an ego perspective, having intuition becomes very difficult. Okay? Because it's in this cage of our personal values and beliefs, and we want to be right and wrong and make others wrong, sort of thing. Okay? So here are some things that you can do to start breaking free from an egocentric life. Okay? First, Stephen Covey in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has one of the habits that I just absolutely love. First, seek first to understand the perspective of another person or another group of people. Then to be understood. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And there's lots of skills that go around developing understanding and listening to others and asking questions and in a very objective and learning way. Second solution, listen to learn. So many people that live from an egocentric perspective, when they're in a conversation, they're just waiting for the other person to shut up so that they can talk. They're not listening. They want to get their point of view across and just totally ignore what the other person is saying. The solution to that is, when you're listening to other people, listen to learn. You ask questions like, can you tell me more about that? If I understand you correctly, you're saying, validate what you think you're hearing. Stephen Covey has a lot of suggestions that go beyond what I'm talking about here. The next is seek win-win. When you're in a conversation, and from an egocentric perspective, you're trying to figure out how you can win and the other person loses. Instead of doing that, think about, what can we do that creates a win for both of us, that meets the needs of both of us? At first, that's going to seem difficult if you live life from an egocentric perspective, because that's not what you do. But you got to start someplace. So start with that. Coupled to that is developing the skills of collaboration instead of competing with another person. Collaborate, don't compete. Okay? When you collaborate, you're trying to make an idea the best of both or many points of view that turns out to be better than a solution that's better than one individual comes up with. Okay? So very, very important. The other process to help break the ego down and create a path back to your soul is meditation. I'll leave that there. There's a lot that can be said about meditation. I have episodes on meditation. But a lifelong balance of your life practice of meditation, I strongly urge people to enroll in the Self-Realization Fellowship lessons, which begin with some very basic but powerful forms of meditation. And as you progress, you get access to and practice the most powerful forms of meditation known to humanity today. And the Self-Realization Fellowship is absolutely the best place to go through that process. And lastly, study of wisdom texts. Okay? There have been numerous God-realized enlightened avatars that have come onto the planet in the last several thousand years, going all the way back to 2,000 years BC with Krishna and the creation of the Bhagavad Gita, which is kind of like the Hindu Bible, if you will. And then about 500 BC, we had Buddha, another God-realized enlightened avatar who provided us with just amazing and wonderful wisdom insights that are carried forth in the world today by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who's, to my knowledge, the most advanced human spiritually and wisdom-wise working in the public on Earth today. Okay, we have Lao Tzu in China, Taoism, Jesus, of course, with the Christian Bible. I strongly urge you to read Paramahansa Yogananda's book, The Second Coming of Christ, where he provides the perspective of a God-realized enlightened avatar on the Christian Bible. It is the highest quality insight and understanding that you can get on the Bible. Okay? And then we have most recently on planet Earth, and a God-realized enlightened avatar was Paramahansa Yogananda himself. He passed in 1952 and has left us with a wealth of wisdom. Okay? So, I've talked to you here about the two major things that are challenges for you to live a wisdom-inspired life. A wisdom-inspired life is the highest form of life that a human being can live. It's what ultimately gets you to graduate from the human kingdom to the spiritual kingdom. That's what happens when you become a God-realized enlightened avatar, when you know God. Okay? So a wisdom-inspired life is the highest form of life that we can live as humans. Okay? It has many elements. You can read that and listen to the episodes I have both here and in other places. Okay? So, your ego and ignorance, they walk hand in hand with each other. These are two big challenges that you need to overcome if you want to improve just the everyday quality of your life, let alone living a wisdom-inspired life. I truly, truly hope you take to heart what I've shared with you here. I've done this totally in the spirit of serving you, serving humanity, understanding these messages, understanding the importance of what the biggest challenges are, and give you a glimpse into what we can do to overcome all that. As always, thank you very much for watching this episode. I look forward to reconnecting with you soon.